Welcome to the Collective Experience by the Brwngrlz Collective, a dynamic platform where we celebrate innovation, creativity, and the power of Black excellence. Each episode, we sit down with change makers, visionary industry leaders, and groundbreaking entrepreneurs across the worlds of fashion, tech, education, business, and more. This is more than just an interview series. It is a space where stories are shared, wisdom is exchanged, and inspiration flows. Together, we are building a community that thrives on collaboration, empowerment, and the drive to uplift one another. So get ready to meet these women redefining industries and shaping the future. This is the Collective Experience, where we take center stage. Welcome to the Collective Experience, brought to you by the Brwngrlz Collective, your space for inspiration and connection. I'm your host, Desiree Artemis, and today we're thrilled to introduce Tayler Simon, the visionary owner of Liberation is Lit, a bookstore and community dedicated to sparking collective action for liberation through intersectional stories. With a background in social work and a passion for anti-oppression, Tayler's work empowers readers, writers, and communities alike. Join us as we explore her journey, her active advocacy, and how she's making a difference through storytelling and social justice. All right, so thank you so much for coming on. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, and it's been a day, so I'm glad to have this time to have a little chit chat with Brwngrlz Collective today.
Oh, thank you. You said it's been a day, girl. I was like,
Yeah.
I forgot today's Monday. Like this,
Right.
Yes, but we're going to go ahead and move right along. So there is, like I said, we've added a game. So you're going to choose three. We're going to do it 3 times, right? So I'm going to go ahead and share it. And we're going to get to it. What? Hold up. Okay, there we go. I'm like, what is happening here? All right. Ooh, okay. Those are sneakers.
So, definitely sneakers girly. I cannot do heels, and I cannot wear heels as of probably September 2021, when I broke my shoe dancing at the Latin Fest, and then my backup shoes were heels, and I was walking all over downtown Columbia, and I said I'll never wear heels again, and I have not since.
Oh, that's one interesting, because I love Latin music and I like to, salsa, bachata, and all that. So you do that too?
I do. I love it so much. I got into it when I first went to Cuba in 2015 for a college trip.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, we're going to have to go sometime. Now that I know I have
I know.
Because I sometimes go on Fridays to Ambrosia.
Yes, I haven't been there yet.
Okay, yeah, we're going to do that. Let me see what Friday's looking like. We might do that Friday. And then, so we're going to go to the next question. Oh, sorry. I wanted to piggyback on the shoes thing, because everyone we interview, everybody says sneakers. I know I used to be the girliest girl. I only probably owned 2 pair of sneakers now, or flats, period. And now it ain't nothing but flats in there. So I've heard your story, girl. I completely understand. And so you don't wear heels even when you go salsa dancing? You salsa dancing?
No, I need to get some dancing shoes, because all my heels that I had were not, they were the breaker ankles that I only wore on special occasions, and I was trying to style somebody at a baby shower. So I've got platforms, but as far as heels, that's not my ministry.
She said I want comfortable heels if I'm going to wear them. Okay, so we're going to move to the second question. Let's see. We're not giving no advertisements on the show. Okay. Oh, let's go for the early question today. So, makeup or no makeup?
Again, I am a no makeup girly. The most you'll get from me is eyeliner and some lipstick, maybe special occasion. I'll put some lashes on. I'll do my eyebrows, mascara, but I'm not a big makeup. I don't know how to do it, and I'm always touching my face. So when I have it done, then I'm just like, oh, I've got makeup on. I forgot. But I'm
Yeah,
trying to be a lipstick girly. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
very
I'm
minimalist.
chapstick.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe some lip gloss, but like, in special occasions, yes, I do makeup and I can beat the face to the gods. But it's time consuming, and like with everything that we got going on, we don't have time for that. Like, do we really, like, y'all, like, people like literally say, Desiree, we need you to wear makeup. We want you to, I'm like, but if I wear my glasses, then one, I don't have to really worry about the eye area. And it's not like I
Hmm.
have problem skin or anything. So it's nothing that I need to hide or want to hide. And it gives me a smart look. And plus I can't see or do my makeup without vision. So now I have to
Right.
put on you know, it's a whole thing. So yes, I see y'all like your frames. Look, we're both
Thank you. Yes, yes. It's almost time to get some new ones. I'm excited.
I will hold on to glasses for a good 10 years before I buy another one because I'm just like,
I'm
wow.
I'm leading into the glasses look now, so sometimes I want to switch it up.
Yeah, see, everybody, I've heard that because they have those memberships and stuff, and people just buy
Hmm.
different frames. And I thought about it, but it's like I'll find just a pair that I'm okay with wearing with everything.
Hmm.
So yeah, but maybe I'll get into it. Maybe I'll get into it. Yeah, but then that just requires another like
Right.
thing to do.
Right.
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna go to the last question. Whoop. I forgot I wasn't sharing. Oh, okay. Major love to our sponsors for stepping in to make all of this happen. IAS Games for family and friend game nights. Out the Barns Entertainment for your video editing needs. Camera Guys Inc. for video photography and your editing needs. Intro music by Sedasia and music provided by Drea. Your contributions keep us going and help us grow.
Ooh, early mornings because I go to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock every night. I just can't stay up late. I'm not a night owl whatsoever. But I will wake up at 6:30 and attempt to get my day started, but I'll wake up at 6:30.
See, I want to do that so bad, but I am a late night. So I literally will go to bed at 2. I think last night I went to bed at like 1. I got up at like
Mhm.
9. Like, yeah, like I prefer to, like, honestly, I would prefer to wake up at 1. Like, I think that's just the best thing to just wake up at
Like, even for me, sleeping in is probably around 9 a.m. And that's a
1. Hmm.
late start for me. Real
Hmm.
late.
I haven't been able to sleep in for a while, but if I do get to sleep in, I want to wake up at 1, 2,
Hmm.
maybe 3. Because like, what really is? I mean, besides everything that we do, because I'm like, what's like for you? You like to go to sleep early, so like, you don't really
Hmm.
see really a need to stay up past a certain time.
Nope.
I wish I could go to sleep. Like my body is just now it's on it's because I'm like, I want to be the girl that wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning because they say that that's the best time, for entrepreneurs to get up and stuff like that. And I'm like, I am an entrepreneur, so I should be getting up at 5.
But you work with your body's natural rhythms. Like if you get your
Mhm.
best work done at 11 p.m., like that's what you do. I'm brain dead by 3 o'clock. So I schedule kind of my working day from 10 o'clock to 3. And that helps me not procrastinate because I'm like, okay, if I just focus these 4 hours, I can do whatever I want for the rest of the day. Then I can get to the laundry and the cleaning and everything else I want to do as long as I'm like focused, even though I usually do my cleaning before I start working. But just knowing that
Yeah.
I have that concentrated time helps me like, oh, well, let me check my phone and do all these distraction things, take a nap. I'm like, you could take a nap at 3 o'clock when you're finished with your work schedule.
So let's piggyback there, right? So you've created a schedule for yourself. How
Mm-hmm.
hard was that to do in the beginning? Or was it just something you just naturally just was able to just conform to?
Um, it was a little difficult in the beginning because at first, when like things were slow, still like building up the business and things, like there was a lot of things that I was doing, but at the same time, I was just doing a lot of things just to, I think I
Stay.
went through this period of justifying working for myself. Like, if I'm not working all the time, like, why did you quit your job? Like, you're not going to make any money. You're not going to be successful. You're going to have to go back to the traditional 9 to 5. You're going to fail if you're not working literally all the time. And that I had to change that mindset of productivity versus just busy work, because that's what a lot of us do on our jobs. Like, we're here till 5, like,
Mhm.
let me spread out this project a little bit so I can like waste time because I'm collecting a check anyway. So when I kind of re thought my relationship with time, that helped me prioritize a lot, be more intentional about what I wanted to do, and not just, I was doing a lot of things just to do them because I felt like I had to. But now that I'm more intentional, I'm seeing more success because the things that I'm putting that intention and that thought behind and prioritizing, I can focus on those versus like, oh, I said I was going to make this post every week. Like, let me work on that. And it's not really helping or promoting the business in any way. It's just taking up time. So I really had to relearn that relationship with time.
Oh, yes, yes. I loved how you phrased it as far as like going to work and you have an 8-hour day and you probably could get that work done for that day in like 3 hours, but
Mm-hmm.
you're doing all this other stuff throughout the day just to fill in the time. So most of us are conditioned to believe we have to work an 8-hour day. And that is that is giving me something to think about because one, I am a procrastinator. I'm just keeping a buck with you. But I find that in my procrastination, and so I don't know if this is like a double-edged sword, but in my procrastination, it's forcing me to have to do this because I've created a deadline. So in my mind, in this deadline, I have to complete it. So it gets done by the deadline, but it's like the pressure is on, right? So for me, I do that, and then I find myself working 16, 17 hours straight forgetting to eat, and it's not really, healthy, but I know like that works for me in a sense, but I want to change how I look at it. And I think it's perception in the mind. So, just being able to dedicate 3 hours to something will probably help me not procrastinate. So, Brown Girls, if y'all are watching, listening, take this, sorry, I get confused. Take that advice because that is the realest thing I heard all day. Like I'm sitting here processing it. I'm literally like that. I love that. I love it for real. So thank you for sharing that for real.
Yes.
But
I had to unlearn a ton of things like when I
mhm,
became an entrepreneur because I tried to
yeah.
fit this rigid structure of how I always been working when I was working for like universities and nonprofits, and thinking like, okay, I have to work this way instead of like working with myself. And even
Hmm.
with deadlines, giving myself compassion
Hmm.
and saying like, if I was working with a supervisor, I would ask for support instead of like immediately beating myself up about not being able to accomplish something. So trying to be a compassionate supervisor and boss to myself, um, has been an unlearning process too.
See, and the fact that you are kind to yourself is awesome. I beat myself up. Like, it's, I don't know, like, I should, like, I find grace. I like give grace to things. But, like, I think that for me, I don't know, maybe I'm like a dictator supervisor to myself. I have no idea, but I literally just am like, I have this deadline, I want to meet it. And sometimes you can't because the other circumstances happen, and it's probably not its time at this time, you get what I'm saying? But,
Mm-hmm.
I just do feel like when it comes to the deadlines and I want to hit it because I have to like I have to hit it. And if I don't hit it, I'm just constantly just like, what did I do? Like, why didn't I do this? What happened? Like I'm going down the list because I'm like, this can't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
This cannot happen again. So
And
yeah,
it's hard too, because when you're doing something like Brwngrlz Collective and Liberation is Lit, something that's really community focused and serving the community, it's like when you feel like you dropped the ball somewhere, you feel like you're letting the whole community down. So I am trying to be nicer to myself. I haven't 100% arrived there yet, but it's all a journey.
Oh yes, it is all a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. I completely agree, completely understand. Same journey, girl, same journey. And this is why I like to have these conversations, is simply because you can stand next to someone and not really understand what they're going through or going through something and y'all can help each other through it. Like I've just gotten two great nuggets from you, and we've only been on for 18 minutes. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I love these conversations, but I'm going to move us over into the introspective. Yeah, I forgot to put a slide up because I said, normally I'm in the back and I'm doing the production part, but sometimes you got to show up, right? So introspective. So some of the information you submitted, I was like, okay, so she was in advocacy. She dealt with child sexual abuse, and now she's into books. And so I wanna understand like where the shift came, and do you even think it's a shift? Like, is this just a natural progression, or was it a shift? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. So, my professional background, I worked for 8 years in both child sexual abuse prevention and working with adult and teen survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence, and mostly on college campuses and in nonprofits. And so I was just really passionate about that work. I'm a survivor myself, and just working with people, preventing it in the first place by talking about healthy relationships, communication, consent. I did a lot of that outreach, education, and training, talking to professionals how to be supportive for survivors. But it was kind of, my growth to this journey was kind of concurrent, because as I was moving through this career, I was feeling, I loved the work I was doing, but I was very kind of beat down by the systems I was working in. So I wanted to pursue writing. So I started a blog on books and social justice. And what was happening at the same time was the Me Too movement, and seeing survivors use their story to come together to make big, large societal change was just so inspiring to me. And so as I was reading, relearning, refalling in love with my love of reading, and wanting to be inspired by those stories I was reading, and seeing how storytelling on a large scale, such as that, just people telling their personal stories, has the ability to change. I wanted to kind of bring those two ideas together. How can we use stories, fiction, nonfiction, just stories in general, to find out how we can build connection and empathy with each other, but also make change in our society on all different issues. So I love working with survivors. I love doing advocacy work specific to that. But I was also interested in like the anti-racist realm and all of these other issues. And I didn't want to just talk about survivors because there are Black survivors that have a unique experience. There are LGBTQ survivors that have a unique experience. And there is structural violence as far as how we talk about Black men as predators and things like that, how it all goes into all these different movements. So I wanted to be able to talk about whatever I wanted to talk about, but also coming back to that core inspiration of storytelling.
Behind the scenes, there's a lot of hard work that goes into this production, and we couldn't do it without our amazing sponsors, advertisers, and crew.
That's awesome. Like, you know, it's deep. Like, it's really deep. Like, you know, I think the best stories are told from something meaningful, personal. I'm trying to find the word. I find those are the best stories, the ones that people can seemingly almost relate to. I mean, not maybe in a sense of the experience, but the feelings and the emotions. And a lot of things that you do, I remember coming to your pop-up bookstore and I loved it. And that's when we first connected. And I really wanted to see that. Like I was going around telling everybody, there's a Black bookstore. You know, like this is here's something we're creating as a community for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And having a place that we can go to just get content for us by us was monumental to me. And I thank you for your creation and actually believing in this enough to be able to step out and actually make it a reality. You following?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to jump into the next question. I do feel like we kind of hit on it a little bit, but it's about passion and identity, and I want to like bridge it. Sorry, I told you. Okay, this is why I do this, but I want to kind of bridge it back to what you just said. With this passion inside of you to advocate and to do this, do you think it's because that's essentially your identity, like how you identify with it, but is this like your identity?
Yes, and that's something that I feel like I have to check myself on all the time, because what I do is so personal to me. I made a post like months ago on Threads that was like, actually, like all of the liberation work I do is very selfish because as a Black woman, like I want to experience liberation. And when we all win, we all win. And so like the work that I do is very tied to my identity as a Black woman and just all of the intersections of the oppression that we face and how Black women have it so hard. But what I have been thinking about lately, and you'll get the exclusive, I'm actually writing a book called How to Live a Liberated Life When the Revolution Hasn't Come Yet. And thinking about how the work that I'm doing for the community, but also how I do my work, how I show up, making sure I'm choosing to live a liberated life, even though I'm continuously fighting for liberation for everyone. So that means like, if I want a nap, take a nap. I worked 21 hours this past weekend and like making sure I build in some rest and being intentional about, again, my concentrated 4-hour work day so I can feed. I definitely need to read to recommend things for people, but also just using that to feed in my work and me personally. And so that's how I see all of the work connected. Like, I don't want to just use Liberation is Lit as a way to help the community, although that's very important work that I do, but also how am I modeling living a liberated life to other people by setting that example for intentional rest and taking breaks and boundaries, because for so long this community work, it praises martyrdom, and especially with Black women, we feel like we have to do it all the time. And
what time is your D&D? What time your D&D go on? Because
probably like 8:30. So like just thinking about how we need to protect ourselves, not only to do more work and show up for people, but inherently is revolutionary that we survive and thrive, because when Black women thrive, and when we create the conditions in the world where Black women thrive, all of us can thrive. So that is why I do this work, but also model already living the liberated life, because I'm practicing for when it comes, when the revolution comes. I'm practicing already living that soft life.
We're gonna talk outside. We're gonna talk outside of this interview. It's so confusing because it's like a reflection, but I love that answer. I do. Again, that was like another nugget for me. It's like just being intentional about your work and intentional about your freedom. Like you can't, again, touching I think even like in nonprofit work, there's always something to be done. Right. So it's like never ending work, and you can find yourself going 16 hours in a day doing one thing. And then if I were really to do it, it would be no sleep. Right. Because it's so much, it's so many things and so many parts of the business that I think a lot of people don't realize is you have your, back office, you have to figure out finances, you have it's just not the creation. The creation is a part of it, but there's so many other parts of creation inside the creation to make the creation movable. So, it's always something to be done. So it's I remember I text you and I was like 8:30 D&D, what is happening? And, and I find myself, I have my D&D, but my D&D is set to 10:30 because again, I go to sleep later. But, do you find yourself still responding to people, or you put it on there as a selective, who I decide I want to respond to in my free time, or do you just, hey, I'm not responding to anybody after this time? This
honestly, I'll read it, but I might not even respond if it's after 6:00. I'm very strict with that. If it's not something on fire, then I'm that can wait till tomorrow. I'll worry about that tomorrow. My issue though is going back to that early riser. I'll wake up 6:30 in the morning and I'm still in bed responding to texts or emails. That is where I struggle. I need to build in more intentional time that's not scrolling on social media of waking up in the morning, because I will wake up and first thing I do is I'm responding to text messages, and which now is probably going to be even worse that I now have the ability to schedule text messages with iPhone, because then I can be I don't have to let people know that I'm texting at 6:30 in the morning, because I already do that with my emails. I'll send them, but I'll schedule them out for 8:00. So that is where I need to work on my boundaries, being more intentional, waking up in the morning, because going to bed, that's fine. Waking up is where I have issues.
So what do you see your morning like? What's the ideal?
Yeah, so I would love to stretch and get coffee or tea and journal. I'm a writer, and everybody's oh yeah, I wake up at 5:00 and I journal or I start writing, and I'm I'm not that type of writer. I write sporadically throughout the day, and that's what I would love to do. I would love to do more writing in the morning versus I don't have time to write. Yes, you could write those 30 minutes that you're laying in bed responding to emails and scrolling on social media versus, yeah.
Scheduling them out. But then I don't know, because I'm thinking how that really works, because if you're already tired and because you said you are a zombie after 3. So like if people are texting, you're gonna have to get the energy up to respond and schedule for the next day. I think we need assistance. That'll work. That's it. That's what happens. That's the next step. We're getting there. Okay.
Yes.
We're getting there. But I am going to go ahead and move to the next question. So the next question is, what, I know you touched on it, but what sets your business and your initiative apart? And, really and truly, how do you see that impact now?
Yes. So a lot of people, because I'm pop-up and online, sometimes I do feel some type of way, like I'm not a legitimate bookstore. But as I keep interacting with more people who are online, and how much of the work we still do, if not more work, because we have to constantly travel with books, I am feeling more confident in leaning into that identity as pop-up and online. But I have people all the time tell me, well, we have all good books here. Like, do you feel like you can compete with another bookstore? And I'm like, we do very different things. First of all, they're mostly new books, and I have a focus on books by Black, Indigenous, people of color, LGBTQ+, and disabled writers. So I definitely have popular titles, but I'm going to put you on to things that you may not have heard about, and new authors. But I also have that offering about not only reading books for pleasure, even though like if somebody says romance is their favorite genre, like, hey, I'm all for it. I read romance too. And I'm not going to knock you down as like not a legitimate reader if you're reading romance, but also thinking about how you can use even romance novels to think about, well, are you reading, like, for example, one of the books I have in my inventory is a Pakistani retelling of Pride and Prejudice. Are you reading books where you can learn about different types of people, different cultures, and wanting to learn more? And that's just as simple as a romance novel. It doesn't have to be this academic textbook. So I really use my platform to advocate for change in the community, and also wanting to build critical thinking among all ages, because we reach a certain point, we don't have to take standardized tests anymore. I don't have to think about critically reading or anything. We're passive consumers with the news and news apps and TikTok. How can we be more critical and active in our reading experience, even if we are just reading for pleasure? And so I feel like that's what really sets me apart, is I can be in the community. I'm very community focused, and it's not just about the books. It's about how the books change your life.
Yeah, I love that, because I'm sensing a connection, right? And a connection being that you're not just like here in the United States, we might read some books like Shakespeare or what's his name? Oh my God, I can't think of his name. But from other parts of the world. Mm-hmm. At a certain time in the world, right? Mm-hmm. Very, very rarely do you see books translate from other countries to their bestsellers translate over here as our bestsellers, and so it's connecting us more into the world. Like the United States isn't all there is. Like there aren't just writers in the United States, and writers didn't die in 1800 when we stopped, so, mm-hmm. It is interesting. And then predominantly most books that do translate are by, the counterpart. Mm-hmm. They don't really translate these, other books over to us. We don't have that. So, I love that. I love that connection. And also I'm probably going to we're going to talk about Friday, but we're also going to talk about something else that we talked about before. But we're just going to bring that back. I love it. And I want to see how we can share more of that. Mm-hmm. Not just one, I don't want you to just be doing it. I'm not saying you're doing it by yourself now, but you shouldn't just be promoting that by yourself, right? Like I want to promote that too.
Right. And that's why I don't see all good books as competition. That's why I don't see like other, like there's only one brick and mortar Black owned bookstore in South Carolina. It's in Goose Creek. I don't see them as competition. I want us all to win because I can't do everything. And I'm very much interested in collaborating with other people because, again, like it's not just one type of issue. Like, how can I come in and provide like book recommendations on like whatever issue that you're talking about? Like, it's all about collaboration and seeing how we can work together because there's no one way to liberation. We all need a million different experiments happening.
Yes, I definitely agree. So we will talk more about that. And then I'm going to take it to like the last question. Legacy and impact. What impact do you hope to make? So like if we're looking in 10 years, like what is that 10-year goal? What does that look like? And how do you see your legacy inspiring other Black and Brown women?
Yes. So I have this like very ambitious goal. Like I always joke with people when people ask me what I do. I say books, I read them, I write them, and I sell them. So I would really love to definitely grow Liberation is Lit to a brick and mortar. I want it to not just be a bookstore. I want it to be kind of like a community cultural center where there's always classes and workshops happening, doing something similar as the library, having like social workers come to help people in the community. But I'm a writer myself. I have 3 self-published books, so I'm very passionate about self-publishing. So definitely having my own words and books be part of my legacy too, and using that platform to talk about different issues that affects me personally that I'm really passionate about, and also growing that into eventually a publishing company to help people tell and champion their stories and empower people to tell their stories. So I kind of have those 3 parts of like the bookstore arm, the cultural and community center, and then eventually a publishing company. Those are like my huge 10-year ambitions.
Yeah, they say reach for reach for the moon or reach for the stars, you might land on the moon. I believe that that'll happen. I honestly do. Like I see it happening. I would love for that to happen. So it's going to happen. We've claimed it in this session and probably before. It's done. So we ain't even gonna talk about that no more. It's done. Because that is going to be awesome. The last question that we do at the end of each interview is pay it forward. Essentially, what is one piece of advice or wisdom you would share with the next woman stepping into this space? And like, what's one question you would like to ask her? So the next person getting interviewed, what would you want to say to them?
Yes. So one piece of advice I definitely have, I kind of been talking about it the entire interview, is just making sure that if you're in this entrepreneur space, or even if you are just passionate about helping people in general outside of your 9-to-5, make sure you are taking care of you, because the revolution starts with you. And what's the point of making the world a better place if you won't be able to see it? You won't be there to see it if you're not taking care of yourself. So definitely taking care of yourself. And one question I love to ask people is, what keeps them grounded in the work that they do? What is the thing that keeps them going when times get tough? So I always love to ask people that question.
And so that is one of the questions, and I wasn't able to ask that, but you can answer that question.
Yeah, so what keeps me grounded in the work is, again, I am trying to live and be in the world that I want to create. So if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not doing the work fully. If I'm just running myself ragged, then I'm not doing the work fully. But also just the community and the connections that I get to build doing this work and meeting people, that has been really incredible. And this community is what I do the work for. I do the work for myself selfishly, but I also do it for community.
I love that. I love that. So, Tayler, we are so grateful for your time and the light that you bring to the world. So, to everyone watching, thank you for being part of the collective experience, and we will see you later, Brwngrlz.
Thank you.
Thank you to our advertisers, sponsors, and everyone who made it possible. And of course, thank you for tuning in and being part of the Brwngrlz family. See you next time.
Girl, I love you just like Mary Jane. I give you everything. Damn, I hope you feel the same. Come and make it better, just like Mary Jane. Oh, girl, I can't complain. I need your touch, can't get enough. Come and beat me up, it's just like Mary Jane. Beat me up from the middle of the club. You say you running low again, won't let me fill your cup. I got some papers in my section and some sponsors in the tuck. She been calling me Split Daddy, baby. Please don't gas me up. You can keep your mask, I don't want time with that. Tryna know your heart by the time we start, baby. Ain't no hiding facts. Maybe if you with it, we can start a tab. Break down them walls, you can let me in. I can be your quarterback. Come on, put our tape right on the map.